Gary Blair with us here on Studio 12 Live. Aggies are 16-4, as Will said, 6-0 in the SEC. They've won 9 in a row. Now, Aggies turn the page, and they've got a big game and a really historic game for A&M. Number 11, Tennessee, coming in on Sunday. 3 o'clock is your tip time, ESPN2, national television. We told you in the first part of the show, if you buy a men's ticket and a women's ticket, you can get in for as little as $8. It's a really cool deal. You can get online, AggieAthletics.com, right there. The prices increment as you go up in the arena. There's all kinds of options there, but a great opportunity to watch 2 great games this weekend. I've also got 2 pair of tickets for this game. Again, same drill. Text us 229-1939 if you have not won before, 229-1939, and we'll get you taken care of to see the Aggies and Tennessee. Now, Coach, obviously you've been in this business for a very long time, and Tennessee truly is, I mean, this is, you got to probably call it the program. This is women's basketball. That's what they are. I mean, what does it mean to have this team come into Reed Arena for a fan? This is one you need to come see, isn't it?
Well, very similar to in the men's game where you had UCLA. UCLA was the dominant team for so many years and won 11 national championships. And then you had Indiana, North Carolina, Kansas, and Duke, and all the others. But the staple factor, it's been Tennessee from day one, getting to Final Fours early but not win them. They've won 8. And I've been a part of one in 98 where they beat us in the semifinals when I was at Arkansas. And then 2008, they came from 5 back and with 6 to go and beat me in Oklahoma City to go in 2008, and that's their last national championship. That's the last time they've been to the Final Four. So this team is hungry. They've got Megan Simmons at the 2 guard, who was preseason player of the year. She's playing very well right now. We've got to slow her down. She's from San Antonio, so I know she wants to come back home and light it up on us, but she'll have a little bit of Walker on her. But then Massengale at the point guards, Isabel Harrison, and Barbara Graves, and they bring 6'6" Mercedes Russell off the bench, who was the player of the year last year coming out of high school. So they're long, they're lean, and they're hungry. And they've already lost 2 games, which was unheard of. So now they want to come in and get a road win.
And it's We Back Pat week as well. A lot of things we'll see on Sunday are in support of Pat Summitt and her foundation. Just discuss her, because you've had a relationship with her a long time, because you were at Arkansas in the SEC before the Aggies ever even joined this conference. And I think the first time you made the Final Four with the Razorbacks, she was on the other bench across the way from you. Am I right? I mean, you've known her for a long time. And if you think about the great coaches, college basketball, men or women, the Woodens, the Krzyzewskis, and the Dean Smiths, well, Pat Summitt's name is in there with them.
Well, that first Final Four in 98, Kay Yao, North Carolina State, who's passed away with cancer, Leon Barmore, my mentor at Louisiana Tech, and Pat Summitt. I mean, I was like a kid in a candy store.
Were you wide-eyed?
I was wide-eyed. We were playing them close in the first half, and we ended up losing by 28. But that's how good they were. That was Tennessee's best team ever in 98. But Pat has meant so much to the game. For you people that are out there listening, she has the early signs of dementia. She still goes to the ball games. She doesn't coach anymore. She sits across from the bench. She still adds as much to Tennessee as she can in the women's basketball. But it's sad to see anybody with Alzheimer's, and you hope that it doesn't happen to you or any of your relatives. But she's still giving back, and it's our way of giving back to Pat. So hopefully we'll be wearing purple ribbons, and I cannot tell everybody out there to wear purple, but at the same time, maybe wear a purple ribbon to support Pat in her cause.
You can log on to patsummit.org. That is with 2 M's, 2 T's, if you want to learn more about her foundation. You made a great point in the presser on Tuesday, too. You talked about how she can make anybody in a room feel like they're the most important person in the room. You talked about her being a tremendous listener. You know, that's a very difficult trait to have. That's got to be pretty special to watch when you've seen her in action.
Well, it is. I met her in 1977. I had just won the state championship at South Oak Cliff. We were working a basketball camp at North Texas, and she was just coming back from the Pan American Games as a player. And I worked her in the camp, and I found out real quick, do not play 3-on-3 with Pat Summitt. She schooled me behind the back passes, elbows in my throat, and I got a lesson learned. And she just thought, well, I was older than Pat at the time. She was probably about 26, 25, and she was already coaching at Tennessee, one of the youngest coaches ever to coach Division I. But we just had a good relationship. Her son last year, Tyler, he's coaching at Marquette now. They came here to play in our Thanksgiving tournament. Great kid. And I still remember my first year at Arkansas, I sent Tyler one of those hog hats. And Pat was so mad because the kid wore it around the house for a couple of years. And she said, "You're a volunteer." And I said, "No, he's a Razorback."
I love it.
But just the game in general, these two programs, I mean, you guys have won a national championship recently. Tennessee has their 8. But when Tennessee plays UConn or if Stanford plays at Tennessee, these marquee games only help women's college basketball. And these two opponents are name brands now. Just the thought of the Texas A&M Tennessee matchup moving forward is on the marquee board, and it helps the game.
I think it's going to be great for women's basketball. We're on ESPN2. We got Carolyn Peck, who always does the Final Four, and Pam Ward calling the ball game. A national audience at 3 o'clock here, and I think there's another SEC game on at 1 o'clock. It's just going to be a great day for women's basketball because there's no football. And if you're actually going to watch the Senior Bowl on TV, you're sick.
I've given up on that a long time ago.
You're sick.
We'll won't watch
the reruns of A&M beating Duke in football, but don't watch that Senior Bowl. It's like wrestling, which is fake. They don't really tackle there. I think they fall
make up
down.
rules about blitzes and stuff.
They're getting to choose players from whatever. Don't watch it. Come out and watch us.
Again, the game's at 3 o'clock, like Coach said. You can bundle your tickets for the men and the women starting at just $8. Log on to AggieAthletics.com. And I kind of want, big picture, I think this can be a series that can really turn into a fun rivalry. First time they've ever come here. You guys go to Knoxville last year, near the end of the season, hard-fought game. You end up falling a little bit. We were in Duluth in the semifinals of the SEC tournament. That was as wild an atmosphere that I've seen in a long time. You come out with the win and then knock off Kentucky the next day. I mean, this is how rivalries get built. Big crowds, big-time atmospheres, and a lot on the line, isn't it?
Well, particularly we lost a close game to them at Knoxville. We played them well, but I think we ended up losing 8 or 10. But we played good. We felt like we were getting back in sync and everything. We go to the SEC tournament. We beat a tough South Carolina team. And then Tennessee, when you go to the SEC tournament, they have 80 to 85% of the fans.
Home game.
80 to 80. It doesn't matter if it's in Little Rock, at Nashville, or Duluth, Georgia. 85% of the fans. And all of a sudden, when you can silence them by how well we played defensively and how well we rebounded with them, that's their strength of their team. They rebound and they play with so much passion in transition. This is a ball game that we've got to play smart. This is a game we're going to need Carla huge in this ball game and Rachel Mitchell because they're tall, they're long, and they're very good.
All right, Coach, appreciate the time, and maybe get a little bit of a rest or maybe a little bit of food before you guys kick off practice.
You got practice in a few hours.
Oh, it sounds like a drive-through to me. I gotta go through, get a drive-through, and get something in the old stomach.
There's going to be a Diet Coke mixed in for sure. I know that. That's going to happen. Coach, appreciate the time. Congrats on the win, and we'll see you at Reed on Sunday.
See you on Sunday.